Obviously, the announcement of the captaincy, can you just take us through the decision to have no captain and the 5 alternates?
Yeah, I had a lot of conversations, Mike and myself, and going through the process and where we are at, and that's what we came to.
What was the decision to maybe, not have a C? How much did you guys talk about having a C, and why Toffoli maybe got it every game instead of maybe giving him the C?
Yeah, I think, again, something we had a lot of discussions about, really going back into the summer, and bringing a lot of new players. We think we have a really good leadership group. I don't think we needed to put it on one, the weight on one person. So, I think all these guys are very capable and good pros. Bring a different element. Obviously, with Mac adding to that group as a younger guy, he'll continue to learn, and has a natural leadership ability. But he's going to continue to learn, and he'll learn from Ryan Reeves, who's not wearing a letter. So just because you have letter in New Jersey doesn't mean we don't have leaders that don't have letters. So we're very confident in this group.
How did you guys get to the breakdown of why some guys have it on the road, like Mario and Wenberg have it on the road, and Goody and Mac are at home? Why that? Like, what's the reason behind those specific reasons?
I wouldn't really look into it too much. We thought, Goody's been here for a long time. Macklin's kind of up and coming. Mario. He's going to give everything he's got every single. It doesn't matter where we play. And when he's really come along as a leader for our group, coming in, didn't really know what we were getting as much as last year, and he kind of leads by example. So, Toff has been really good for our group, our younger guys, as you guys have seen. He's been around, obviously won a Stanley Cup, and he knows what it takes. So, I'm going to lean on him quite a bit, and he'll wear it every game.
Last year you had Mario wear the AL throughout the year. This year it's Tyler. Can you say why you made the change there?
No, I wouldn't say there was a reason for it. I think is the balance of how we wanted it to look, and we thought Toph was kind of ready for that, to wear it every game. He deserved it through his play last year, and not like Mario deserved to be taken away from it. It's kind of how the decision we made for the balance of the group.
In what ways do you want to see Macklin grow as a leader this year? I mean, do you see him be a little bit more vocal at times? I mean, he said he's going to be more of a leadership by example guy. But...
Yeah, I think so. I want Mac to be Mac. I don't think he needs to go be Joe Sakic or Sidney Crosby. He needs to be Macklin Celebrini and lead in his own way. I'm not going to micromanage how he leads. He'll wear his emotions on his sleeve. He'll have to control his emotions, and he'll learn through his mistakes with that. But I'll never want to take that away from him. That's what makes him great and who he is. So I think that's a special quality to have. He drags guys into the fight, and the way he plays and the way he prepares on and off the ice. So be himself.
Just for, I think, maybe fan base that don't understand, when you have a guy like Tyler, he's going to wear the A for all games. What does that mean, like, on a kind of nuts and bolts day-to-day or game-to-game basis?
I'd say if there was something that, and myself or Mike needed a quick answer to, he'd be the guy I would go to. I think that's probably the easiest way to say it.
Okay. Why is Macklin ready for a letter at 19?
Yeah, we looked into it. Players around the league that have done it. And, he just has this natural leadership ability in him. You see it. You guys see it on the ice, off the ice. It comes very natural to him. So what better way to learn through it with some really good veterans surrounded by him doing this. And, again, he'll learn. He'll make mistakes. He'll improve as a leader and as a player. And we'll be there to help him and support him. But he kind of showed us a lot last year of he was getting closer to kind of really being a leader. And honestly, you see it in football quite a bit. I don't know. It's a big surprise here in the NHL where, a lot of times in football, it's the second year the guy becomes a captain. Again, this wasn't a decision we made. We just made it in the blink of an eye. It was a lot of conversations.
Speaking with Mario mentioned that Mario was named alternate captain his third year, so very young too. And he said that when he was named alternate captain, part of the thinking from that coaching staff was that he would almost be in some ways, the leader of the young players, like be that conduit kind of, right? And so is that part of the thinking with Mac too, that that
Yeah.
he would kind of be that connection with younger players.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we definitely have some young players that are going to come up here, and we got to set the standard. And we think Mac does a really good job of doing that, and the culture that we want to drive here. And it's my job to hold them to that standard and them to keep raising that standard. And that's where you start getting, you make big moves and leaps and bounds in your culture. So, you could say that. That's a fair assessment.
Is he gonna be the guy that drives that culture a little bit, even though he's so young?
I mean, I think we're already seeing that he's doing that. He's usually the last guy off the ice and the first guy on it. He's here late, working on his body. He takes care of himself. He cares. He's competitive. I think that's self-driven by himself.
Heard a couple guys talk about identity.
Yeah.
On this year's team. What is that identity? What is that identity for this year's team?
I would say we're relentless. I think we're relentless with the puck. We want to be in the attack, and when we don't have it, we want to be relentless to get it back. I think we want to be a team where we're at right now is we need to learn how not to beat ourselves. And sometimes you have to learn how not to lose before you know how to win. And that's where we're at right now. We'll have to continue to work on it. We saw that a little bit last year, being more competitive. Obviously, this year it's about finish. We've got to finish games off and not beat ourselves. If we can give ourselves a chance, not every night you're going to feel your best, right? It's 82 games. It's a long season. Can we find ways to win in different ways? But the only way to do that is to not beat yourself.
I know you don't want to look back at seasons ago, but Octobers have been tough for the group as you moved into the season. What's the message been like to get off to a better start this year?
Yeah, our start's critical. We know that. It's everyone in the meetings know it. Our players aren't stupid. They understand. But we can't really focus on what's happened in the past. We can't really focus on next week against the Carolina Hurricanes. We'll focus on our practice today, and we'll get to tomorrow, and we're going to try execute our game plan and win a hockey game.
In terms of tomorrow in the lineup, do you expect Michael Misa and Sam Dickinson to make their initial debut, or are you still going through those first?
Still going through those discussions.
In terms of the lines, just what have you, it looks like you went back to, you did two separate ones yesterday. The second one was the same one as today. What do you want to see from that group? And what about that makeup just kind of gives you maybe more depth than maybe the first one you ran yesterday?
Yeah, I think we're just trying to balance out our lines here a little bit, see what certain guys can do with certain players. Obviously, Mac and Will start together, and we like Wendy and Eki, and we'll see the rest. But Deli's done a good job. I think our fourth line's been very consistent. Again, you got to build chemistry. Don't really want to get into this. We're changing lines and jumbling lines game to game, period to period. So, myself, really, I got to have some patience. It comes with the power play, our penalty kills. We have a lot of new players that we have to get on the same page, and it takes a little bit of time. So I don't think we're going to see a perfect, Picasso of a game tomorrow, but I think we're prepared in the right ways.
Is that kind of working with things in pairs where you like Will and Mac together, and then you'll kind of fill in the other sides?
Yeah, kind of how we've approached it. Yeah.
At the end of practice, Revo was giving fighting lessons to Vinny, and I think Gaudette jumped in. So is this something you asked him to do? It's something he's just done? What did you see from that?
Not ask him to do that.
What are your thoughts on that, then?
It's pretty popular. It's pretty popular. I've seen it before, and it's more their kind of shadow boxing. I think Revo might take it to a little bit of another edge, but you have to ask Vinny about that. But it's pretty popular. Revo's obviously a tough guy. He's done it a lot. And these guys want to learn. A lot of it is about really protecting yourself in those situations, and I think that's where you'll see younger guys jump in. No, that's in my experiences.
What did you think of Adam jumping over there? Vinny's a guy that we've seen have that little bit of an edge, but Adam Gaudette's a guy who's going to play the 4C role, but he's got some skill to it. What do you think of him jumping in and trying to learn those?
Yeah, I think, again, he's just trying to learn. You never know if a big hit. Nowadays, gloves are off, so even if it's clean, so you got to be able to protect yourself.
Is Revo allowed to teach Macklin fighting, or is he not allowed to?
I don't really want him teaching.
Fair to say that having those guys, you guys can't afford to tiptoe your way into the game tomorrow night.
Yeah, we want to start on time. That'll be a big key for us, and we got to get skating. I know it'll be a good crowd. There'll be energy in the building. You know, we want to take it shift by shift. We don't, you know, looking back at the experiences last year, I thought we got a little excited at times. We got to have some patience in our game. And it kind of goes back to, you know, not beating ourselves will be a big key, being disciplined.
You have 4 defensive pairings. So how do you decide which 3 you use tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll discuss it this afternoon. Talk to Mike again. You look at, you know, matchup wise, what will Vegas will bring. We'll have a good idea. We know how they play. We obviously saw them a lot last year, and then through the exhibition games. So, certain attributes, certain guys, and how we match up will be a big key.
In terms of Misa and Dickinson and integrating them into games,
Yeah.
will that play a part? Kind of like maybe matchups that are, you know, better for them to some degree. Vegas obviously being a big, heavy team,
Yeah.
that could be like, oh, maybe
Yeah,
backcourt. Yeah.
you could say that's fair to say. You know, I think that's, you know, pace and heaviness and what certain teams bring. You know, so we'll see how it plays out.
Kind of nice to have Vegas play tonight and get a chance to look at them and see maybe if there's any changes, see if anything they hit.
Yeah, you'll watch the game tonight, but, you know, what I've learned in this league is every game is hard. It's hard to win this league, and it doesn't matter the travel, the back-to-backs, doesn't matter. We're going to see a really good team tomorrow night.
You finalize your goalie tomorrow?
I have.
Well, you tell us your goalie
Is he
tomorrow.
American or Russian?
He's in the United States right now.
Is he?
Yes.
Legally in the
And he
United
lives
States.
in San Jose.
Oh, this is good. This is good. Okay.